Hot Flash.
No substance.
So today's top 5 are the top 5 black heroes. Both comic, both any other genre. Black heroes.
Anything where a black person was a hero.
Exactly. With Black Panther coming out next year and CW bringing out Black Lightning, I thought it was time to highlight the bros.
Yeah, definitely. Shine a little light in the darkness.
That's right. Whatever that means. Go first.
All right, so I was afraid when I made my list that it was going to be something that he was going to have all these same people on it, but you know what? My list goes first, so anything that he has on his list that's on my list, he copied. So, number 5. I'm going to go with Falcon from the MCU. You know,
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, at first I thought when they introduced and they were going to do Falcon, I was like, he's such a minor character, but Anthony Mackie has made Falcon his own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Like, he got away from the hokiness from the comic book with the costume and stuff like that. He's made him in. He's got charisma. He's got some great action scenes, like especially like in Civil War, not Civil War, Winter Soldier, when he's like flipping and like jumping and spreading the wings out and shooting guns. It was like, dude, I'm inspired by Falcon. I want to cosplay Falcon. Because I didn't want to cosplay him before when he was in the comic book, but now because Anthony Mackie has brought him to light, I'm a big Falcon fan now.
I'm still trying to find out why he let B Rabbit go first. Number 4.
Can we call Eminem? Can we call Eminem Black Hero?
B Rabbit.
All right, number 4.
Number 4.
All right, we'll probably have this the same on the list too. I'm gonna go Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother, Eddie Griffin. Hilarious movie.
It was basically a parody and a spoof of Austin Powers, but it did things on its own that made it separated itself from just being a spoof and parody.
Did not take itself seriously.
No, it didn't take itself seriously.
Hilarious.
Oh, it made every black joke reference it could, and every one of them hit and was funny. I loved it. I don't know why they didn't come out with a sequel. They missed a boat with coming out with a sequel. Eddie Griffin's old now, so they can't really do it now.
Chappelle was a standout for me.
Yeah.
In Undercover Brother. I thought Dave Chappelle was awesome in that movie. And friggin',
I still watch that movie to this day.
I watch it just for Denise Richards.
Oh my God, Denise Richards in her prime.
I will eat mayonnaise just for Denise Richards.
Dude, I still back up and I think about not spilling my cup.
With the big gulp. We want the funk.
Oh man, so that
Number 3.
Black Dynamite.
You're just a big Michael Jai White.
I am a big Michael Jai White fan. He is my hero, by the way.
I love Michael.
All right, which is this is foreshadowing for what's to come. So Black Dynamite was such a great film, and it was funny because it was supposed to be a spoof on blaxploitation films and an old martial arts film, and it had so much comedy. And Michael Jai White. It's like that dude can do everything. He can do drama, he can do action, he can do comedy, and that's another film. Where's my sequel, man?
That really did. No, I think it got an animated.
I mean, it got an animated. That's the closest thing, but we never got an actual live action Black Dynamite 2. The cartoon actually kind of went a little bit more like.
Boondocks.
It not really, but it got cartoonish.
Oh.
So I mean, at least Black Dynamite was kind of grounded, and you know, it was being live action with the cartoon. They could bring in puppets. They can bring in like all this stuff that didn't quite make sense. Wouldn't make sense in a live action film, which I guess, you know, they got to be like outlandish with the cartoon, but I still wanted to see him in live action in a sequel. So I'm a little depressed about that, but I love that movie. I still watch this movie till this day.
Tommy Davidson, baby.
Tommy Davidson. All right, number 2. Whew, man, this was hard putting this at number 2.
Spawn.
It was very hard putting that at number 2. Spawn it is.
Back to back for Michael Jai White.
I could have done all 5 movies. I could have did Universal Soldier 2.
I didn't like Universal Soldier 1.
So I don't know what's wrong with you, sir. But I didn't do all Michael Jai White top 5, which that might be a thing we want to do later on. But number 2 is Spawn. I love Spawn. I love Spawn the character. I love Michael Jai White portraying Spawn when he was cast. I was like, perfect. When I saw him on screen, it was like perfect. And at that particular point in time, we really didn't have many black actors playing superheroes that had made into a big budget film. This was a big budget film. The comic book was skyrocketing at that particular point in time. Action figures were out there. I mean, Michael Jai White's here, and like I said, that's how much of an impact he had when he actually played Spawn. And I love this film. I wish they had a bigger budget. I wish Todd McFarlane got to do everything he wanted to do with the film, and I wish that had really gotten a sequel, but it didn't do well in the theaters, but it had such a fan following going forward from that point that it shows you what he did and how much he lived that character.
I think you're actually spot on something, and that was that when you look at back in 1997 or even in the mid, maybe early to mid 90s, black superheroes were taken kind of and portrayed as kind of like a parody.
Yeah, Meteor Man,
Leonard
Blank Man,
Leonard Part 6, which was kind of in the 80s, but still with Bill Cosby. Then you had Steel, and some of these movies. Just I don't think that black superheroes were really taken seriously. I think that Michael Jai White and Wesley Snipes are probably the ones that were like the ones that started it to where like, hey, you know what? Right. You need to take it seriously.
Yeah.
You know, really. Maybe Apollo Creed, but whatever. Number one.
Speaking of who also helped bring black superheroes into the light, Wesley Snipes. Blade. Dude. People, look, that's one of those characters. I always make fun of Guardians of the Galaxy and people saying it was like, oh, I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. It was like nobody was Guardians of the Galaxy fan when it was a comic book. They were Guardians of the Galaxy fan now that Chris Pratt has actually portrayed Star-Lord. Nobody was a Blade fan. It was like he was one of those characters that showed up in Spider-Man in the animated series, who showed up in the comic books as like just a featured guest star in that particular issue. Nobody read Blade comic books, but when Wesley Snipes portrayed him on the Thank You New Line, when he portrayed him on screen, we were like, that is badass. That is bad. It's so much you didn't even realize it was a comic book movie.
Jumping on that, New Line did spawn.
Yeah, New Line did. That's what I said, dude. I said Blumhouse is the new Line. But
good paper number one.
It's one of those things that's like, hey, we talk about nobody ever playing Tony Stark, nobody ever playing Logan. We don't want anybody else to play Blade but Wesley Snipes. Come on, man. That's why I love this character. I love him playing it, and I love what he has made this character become.
Awesome.
Top 5 done.
Awesome. My number 5 starts with my boy. Got throw the Rock in there. Luke Hobbs. Luke Hobbs is one of my favorites.
You could have said The Rock as The Rock.
The Rock as The Rock. I don't care. The Rock, Luke Hobbs. I don't care. Luke Hobbs is actually the I think that ever since The Rock joined Fast and Furious, it's actually been a moneymaker. He has single-handedly elevated that franchise. No disrespect to Vin Diesel or Paul Walker, rest in peace, but I'm talking about like as far as elevating it to taking it to a different level where people can buy the fact that these street racers are now into freaking all this other crazy heist crap, that he's the one that made it possible for that. He's the sole reason, in my opinion. Luke Hobbs, number 5.
I believe it. Like I said, I believe Rock is a real life superhero.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe if I ever like had something happen and The Rock was in that area, I think he'd save everybody's life.
Yeah. He's the future president.
I mean, he's the future president.
Number 4, Bruce Leroy.
Art talked you into that one, didn't he?
No, I wrote this before Art got here. Bruce Leroy. I actually looked up the time act when he played Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon, Barry Gordy's Last Dragon, 1984, I want to say. I believed him as the freaking Bruce Lee disciple. Absolutely copied his moves. When Shonuff asked him who the master is, and he caught his hand and said, I am. And he was going yellow.
Why is Shonuff not on this list?
Because he's a villain, he's not a hero. But Shonuff would be the top 5 black villains for sure. Anyway, Bruce Leroy, my favorite. He even wore the yellow and black suit.
He wore the yellow and black suit. He even wore the whole little Asian rice, the rice farmer hat too.
Yeah, and he played hopscotch.
He played hopscotch.
That was the ghetto dice back in the day. All righty, man. Number 3. Lando Calrissian.
I forgot Lando. Oh,
that is why I'm blacker than you, sir. Lando Calrissian.
Lando.
Billy Dee Williams before Colt 45 was Lando Calrissian, and he absolutely brought some soul to The Empire Strikes Back.
He brought so much soul. This dude is like 117 right now. His soul is still going on in space right now. It is still saving the galaxy. His soul is carrying over. We still want his soul for episode 8, 9, and 10.
Absolutely. And even though he didn't like the deal that it gets worse every time, doesn't matter. Lando Calrissian, Awesome character. Why was he wearing Han's vest?
Why did he have a perm
have
in
no
space?
idea.
Why is perms in space?
I don't know. What? No soul glow in space.
Well,
All right, number
in
two.
space with the perm exists. It's eternal.
Number two. This is actually where we start becoming a lot alike because Spawn is also my number two.
Yeah.
But not so much Michael Jai White though. Mine was more because of the HBO animated specials that were coming out that Todd McFarlane did. Mm-hmm. Those were really intense, and I thought that even Chapel being in it, you know, that whole.
Yeah, we finally got Chapel instead of Cable.
Chapel, not Cable. For those of you that don't know, I actually called Chapel Cable a long time ago. But anyway, but yeah, to have that character well written, everything was well written in that whole movie that was actually divided by HBO into a kind of like a miniseries. But when you see it at full length, it was just an awesome character, and I thought Keith David's portrayal of Spawn was absolutely freaking amazing.
So you say Keith David as Spawn?
Keith David as Spawn, yeah, I would say Keith David as Spawn, yes. Not to take anything away from Michael Jai White, because I thought Michael Jai White was also awesome in the live action. It is not his fault of how he was directed. They directed him in that performance. Yeah. It's not his fault. He portrayed Spawn. He looked the part. Mm-hmm. I'll give him that. But Keith David sounded the part, so definitely Spawn. Number
was that number two?
Number one, sorry.
Number one!
Wesley Snipes, Blade.
Of course.
More for Blade 2, though.
Really?
Blade 2,
really, the Blade 2 is your favorite. I love Blade 2.
Blade 2
is your favorite Blade.
Yes.
Wow.
Blade 2 is my favorite Blade. You know what? Episode 1, the Goods podcast, episode 1. You guys go back, check it out. That is actually in my top 5 as comic book movies of all time. That's actually one of my favorites. From beginning to end, Wesley Snipes was just perfection in that role from beginning to end. Blade 1 was good.
The Blood Rain Rave, or the Russian After Hours Club. Better scene.
I'm actually going underground. The underground scene.
That was the blood rave.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. The underground scene in when he like lifts the ultraviolet grenades.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, that whole scene, the whole fight scene.
That wasn't your choice. We were doing Blade club scene.
Blade was still good. Okay, you just like the club scene? Club scene, I'll go part 2 only because of what he does to Ron Perlman.
Oh, okay. Right.
And when he's
that wasn't in the club.
Yes, it was in the club. He's got the laser scope pointed at him.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about that. Can you blush?
Well, that too. That was awesome. That was an awesome line. Either way, Blade number 1. Honorable mention, sir.
Oh, honorable mentions. Let's run through these. We're not going to spend too much time on it. This is funny because I was writing these down. Honorable mentions. Men in Black.
So Agent J.
No, I was just saying Men in Black because it had black in it. No, Agent J is a good one.
Agent J, okay.
No. Black Mask. The Dark Knight. Black Widow. No, honorable mentions Hancock,
The Dark Tower.
Basically anything that Will Smith had done at that particular point in time, because Will Smith was a superhero back then. When he was a superhero in Independence Day, he was a superhero in Hancock, he was a superhero in Wild Wild West. Everything he did at that particular point, god damn it, he was a superhero in Bad Boys. Because in Bad Boys 2, it was basically Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett over to the side. He did everything. Featuring Marcus Burnett.
Featuring me, thanks.
Oh, your honorable mention, sir.
Honorable mention is Shaft.
Shaft.
Portrayed by Richard Roundtree, not Samuel L. Jackson.
Really? You didn't like Sam Jack Shaft?
I like Sam Jack Shaft, but he is not Richard Roundtree.
True.
Dolomite.
Went down in the jungle. See, I knew he was gonna do 70s. That's why I did my just anything that had black in it.
Foxy Brown. Okay. Furious Styles from Boys in the Hood.
He was an inspirational voice, sir. I don't call that a hero.
John Q.
Hold on, wait. In the black community, to have a father that actually is a positive influence in your life, that is a hero.
Well, in the black community, to have a father there.
Ooh. That cuts so deep, sir. That cuts so deep. Man, we got Booker T here. Black superhero. Luke Cage just now being introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, we can say Trip from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who died. He was a hero before he died.
And I got Captain Hiller also. Captain Hiller, Independence Day. He was another black hero there. John Q, man.
Anything Denzel did.
Anything Denzel does. Freaking top honorable mention all day.
All right.
And I'm right with you. I'm only a shade away until
there you go.
Didn't have the father around. All right. Anyway. Terrence, take us home.
All right. So if you know some black heroes that we didn't quite cover in this top 5, make sure you put them down in the list below. Also, make sure you like this video so that way we can do more top 5 black heroes because I can talk about black people all day. Also, make sure you...
I will snooze all day.
Also, make sure you subscribe so that way you know about all the other videos that we're doing. We still got a bunch of things getting ready to come out, and we want to make sure you guys are there to see them. So.
Absolutely support this. You know, I mean, it's a great thing that we're getting more diversity, regardless. You know, whether it's black, Latin, which we're not anywhere around, but anyway.
Michael Pena, man, Michael Pena.
Michael Pena is not a hero. He's not a hero. Name one movie he's a hero in.
Chips.
That's a good point. But please support the diversity that film is bringing out. It's actually a great thing.
Oh wait, and The Watch.
I've never seen it.
It's a great film.
I've never seen The Watch. The one with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn in them?
No.
End of Watch.
End of Watch. Same stuff. It's got a watch in it. End of Watch.
Tony Montana. Best Latin hero ever. Anti-hero.
We're doing
Tony Montana.
We're doing Latin.
We have to do Latin now. We got to do
Latin heroes next week.
Oh boy. For Aston in the side, I'm Manny.
Terrence.
And we'll see you next time. Where's Booker T? You didn't put him here.
For Spawn should be up here and fucking Booker Spawn and Booker T.
Just take the people who aren't wearing black.
Take all the people who aren't wearing black.
Take all these off. Bruce has soul, so he's staying.
There you go. Put Booker T up here.